Hello, this is J.R. Miller for part 1 of Self-Inventory video series. We are on chapter 2, week 1, so let's begin. So self-inventory is something similar to what I've done before in the past, but I've never really had the actual term for what I've done. Before, I've done activities where I question myself at the end of the week to see if my views on certain things or topics have changed. For example, I'd have a list of questions that I touched on at the end of the week that are to check to see how I personally felt physically, mentally, and emotionally about what happened that week. I'd then question about why these changes happened and what I'd like to improve for the next week so I could feel better. And that's similar to self-inventory with the kind of reassurance and making sure that your awareness on yourself and what your impact on the clients is. It's very, very similar to that. So I would ask myself if there's an incident that stuck with me for the entire week. Like, let's say, as an RA, I had a resident who came to me with an issue. If that really bothered me still by the end of the week, I'd touch on that. If I had like another issue with a person at college, again, like I'd touch on that. And I feel that it's very important that we actually are aware of how we feel before and after doing this activity. And I felt that it was an excellent way to apply what I had done, like apply and reassure that I've done enough throughout the week and make sure that I've, made sure that I am myself, that I feel positive and confident in what I'm doing. Um, but I feel that this is an excellent way professionally to ensure that we have self-awareness as a therapist. Now, there was a question that seemed kind of challenging throughout this entire self-inventory process, which was question 2 for this week. And question 2 asks us if a therapist should be free from personal issues and conflicts before they start their practice. Now, obviously, we don't want to project our problems onto our clients, but to be free from our personal problems and conflicts is something that truly we can never get rid of as therapists. Lives change, and we see that constantly throughout our social working practice. And after taking some time to think about this, I think that we can avoid some of this by reaching out to our own therapist, getting one if we don't have one, as therapists can undergo therapy, very similar to what question 3 answers. Now, reading this chapter, I found that it's important to be aware of transference, especially avoiding countertransference, because countertransference has many different impacts on both the counselor and the client, along with their working relationship, as things like overprotectiveness can come from therapist fears. We also have to be careful of needing our approval of our clients, as it can lead to dependence to the client and making sure that we get that positive reaction during our attempts to help them. Instead, we're trying to help ourselves. And finally, I believe that I will attempt to do this reassessment activity I had mentioned before, however, shape it to more of a professional kind of questioning mindset. While being a therapist, I think it's very important to be very genuine when it comes to our emotions, as we're very social creatures as humans, and our emotions really can affect how we socialize with everyone around, including our clients. And maybe even perhaps using some of those self-inventory questions might help guide how our questions should be answered. Thank you very much.